What's going on, guys? This is Alec here and welcome back to episode 2 of my Premier League reactions. Today was Swansea City 3, Sunderland 0. That's the game I'm going to be reacting to. I didn't put one up last week just because I probably would have been crying the whole time. We lost 5-0 against Spurs. But on to this one. As you can see on the screen, I finished 3-0. It was a must-need win today. Straight from the get-go, I was feeling a lot more optimistic than I have been from a lot of other games. As you'll see in a couple of seconds here, the starting lineups will appear. But like I was saying, this was a must-win game. As you can see, the starting lineups here, I literally agree with every selection, apart from maybe Kingsley instead of Taylor and debatably Montero instead of Routledge. But the only qualm, like looking back over the game, obviously the manager has to make a decision before the game, but if I was going to watch the game again, I thought Routledge played well, Fulton had a really decent game, Rangel played well instead of Norton there, but I just think Taylor is a bit of a hindrance to us more than anything. But Sunderland's team there, as you can see, Jermaine Defoe is always a threat. They played Jason Denayer in midfield, which was a bit of a weird one. They've not got a bad defence. Billy Jones, Patrick Van Aanholt, Papi Djilabodji and Lamina Kone. It's a strong defence, so 3-0 against them was really decent, but I thought we lined up a lot better. I've said it so many times, I don't know why Sigurdsson has been playing striker lately. Llorente played striker today, and it showed that it's a much more of a structure to the team. And Sigurdsson, as good as Sigurdsson is, he's not a striker, he's not a number 9. He should be sitting in behind the striker and creating goals, and today he scored one, assisted one, and I think Montero assisted the last one. Llorente didn't start against Spurs. He came on off the bench against Palace, scored 2. He started today, he scored 2. I mean, for now, I think you've got to say that he deserves to be in the team over Boha Baston. Obviously definitely starting over Gylfi Sigurdsson as a striker, and then it just works perfectly with Gylfi Sigurdsson in behind. Get Sigurdsson on the ball more and you'll be able to score more goals. But I'm going to talk a bit more about the game right now. First half was really sloppy. You could tell that it was the bottom two clubs in the Premier League playing against each other. It looked a lot of nerves more than anything as well. I think that's fair to say. Swans players definitely looked nervous, and Sunderland didn't really create much opportunities. It was just a really stale game up until half time. And to be fair, I said this to my father, and I'd probably say it here as well. I think the game probably would have finished 0-0, or at least Swans I don't think would have scored had they not had that penalty. It was a penalty from nothing. Wayne Routledge had the ball on the right hand side. He just went for a random cross into the box, and it hit Denayer's hand. It was a penalty in my opinion. It may be a little bit biased, but I think had his hands been a little bit lower, it wouldn't have been a penalty, but his hands were right up in the air, and it struck his arm and was given as a penalty. Like I said, I don't think there would have been any goals to the game had it not been for that. It was like a lucky goal, if you will. But as soon as we scored that goal and we went 1-0 up, I thought we were by far the better team and completely deserved to win it 3-0 throughout there. Ever since we scored that goal, we were just playing with more and more confidence. Our defence looked solid today. Victor Anishabi gave the defence a lot of problems until he went off injured. Yori Amat looked to struggle a little bit. To be fair, in January, I think what I'd do is sign another centre-half to go alongside Alfie Mawson. I think he had a really solid game today, really mature performance, considering he's quite a young player. I'd definitely start him in all the games we have at the moment, just because he's better than Van der Hoorn, and I think he's better than Federico Fernandez as well. That's just my opinions, and then, like I said, I'd probably go with Kingsley at left back as well instead of Neil Taylor. But the second goal, it came from a set piece that was obviously worked on the training ground. Gylfi Sigurdsson with a lovely ball in from the corner, right along the floor. And Llorente, he's got a lot of experience, and he placed it really well into the goal. He didn't rocket it over, which he could have done, and it was just a nice finesse finish into the bottom left corner, or mid goal. But it was a really nice worked goal from the corner. And then the third goal we scored, Montero came on. He was literally on the pitch for about 3 seconds, and the ball came to him on the left hand side. He beat his defender, lovely ball into the box on his left foot, and it was a great header as well, to be fair, from Fernando Llorente. It was nice to see Oliver McBurney come on off the bench. He had a couple of minutes towards the end where he just tried it. He ran about, he put a lot of effort into it, but yeah, like I said, I think Llorente would be my go-to striker right now. So what that means with that 3-0 win today, as you can see on the left hand side of your screen, that's all the results that happened today. Hull drawn against Crystal Palace was a big one. That means that we can move out of the relegation zone into 17th place. However, that's depending on how West Ham do tomorrow. I'm slightly confident though, because West Ham have Liverpool tomorrow and away from home, and that's a really, really tough game. But I feel a lot better now. I think we've got a couple of games in a row which are pretty much must-win games. There's a lot of teams around us. But yeah, we're out of the relegation zone at the moment. Again, good results from Hull. We just need Hull. There's a lot of teams that are around us. Another win, another 2 wins would be really, really good. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of Premier League Reactions. Thank you all for watching. I'll hope to see you next week, and peace.